Hello and welcome back to Kitty Talks Dogs. Today we have with us Theo, and Theo is a fantastic standard poodle with a fantastic temperament. He's a very nice dog, he stands still, he's wonderful. If you want to see how to style a German clip and scissor fantastic angulations, keep on watching. Theo is clipped in German clip. Some people call it the Terrier clip, but I call it the German clip, and it's a variant because it's a German clip with a moustache, a beard, and it has two flushes on the ears. I personally have a wonderful experience with this style because the first time I groomed this style, it was at Intergroom in 1982. And I won the class with Sluber. Sluber was a small poodle, a small black poodle, and here you can see the picture from so long ago from Sluber. So what's the difference between German clip and Terrier clip? Well, it's actually a difference of saying. Many people say Terrier clip and it's actually a German clip. Anyway, the tail is like not with a pom-pom, the tail is like groomed like a terrier. Mostly the ears are shaved. In today's case, the ears are shaved and I leave a flush, but that's okay too. It's a saying, it's a little personal. Some people call it German clip, some people call it Terrier clip. The special thing about the German clip is it's low maintenance. So go in the salons, at home, it's less brushing, less washing, and the hair is not so long. And here you see Theo. As you can see, Theo is very excited and tail is up, so he's quite happy to be with us. And here you see Theo in the lounge and he acts as everything is normal, so all is good. And I'm very lucky because even Theo jumps by himself on the table. So this is wonderful. And here you see some before pictures. The first time Theo was in this style was 8 weeks ago, so now he has 8 weeks of hair growth. Theo is born in 2016 and owned by Steven Stump. Theo loves to go walking and he also has some special tricks because Theo loves to catch butterflies in the garden. Imagine having Theo in your house. Theo is also very special because when you speak to Theo, he looks right into your eyes and it's like he's just looking into your soul. It's just like he understands everything you say and feel, so it's quite a very special experience. As always, this video is divided in different chapters, so just push see more and you can just click on the chapter you would like to see. If you're interested in any of the products I'm using in this video, if you click down below on the list of products, it will take you directly to a blog post, and if you click on any products in the blog post, you will go through to the website where you can buy the products. Let's do some ear maintenance. So I like to use first of all the ear powder to take out all the hair, and then some ear care product to dissolve all the dirt and the wax. I like to use the finger condoms because the finger condoms have two things. If you use them, you have a lot of grip and you don't need to do everything with tweezers, which is slower to me with the tweezers. And second of all, it's very hygienic to use, and if you put your fingers in dirty ears, your fingers are not dirty, it's the finger condoms. So here you see me pulling out all the hair from in and around the ear because that's the way I really like it. When the ear is like open, I like to see a lot of pink and I don't like to see a lot of black hair in the way I also always think the ears must be airy enough for the air and the oxygen to go around and inside the ears. So I've plucked out all the ears, the hair from around, and then inside I go with the tweezers to take the hair from deep. And here you see what was inside. It was like a big pluck of hair. So with this tweezers, which is called the safety tweezers, it's like a very thick point, and it's called the safety tweezers because you're less likely to go and pinch the skin. So here you see what came out of the ears from deep inside, and here you see me cleaning the tweezers. I like to use like a hard brush, and if I don't have any product with me, I use the ear care product, because this is also going to take away all the dirt and disinfect a bit the tweezers. And here again, you see me using the ear care liquid. I really like to put a lot of product in the ear until I see the ear is filling up, because then the product has the chance to dissolve all the dirt and the wax inside. And I also like to gently massage on the ear where the ear comes out of the head, like on the root inside, gently to have like a few seconds for the active ingredients in the ear lotion to dissolve all the dirt and the wax. And then I also like to use like the big Q-tips, and I usually also wet them a bit so they are nicely soft, drained with the product, so it's not hard on the skin, and I can easily take out all the rest of the product, the dirt which is now dissolved. And here you will see that the ear tip is coming quite like waxy or dirty. Here you see what came out of the ear. And to finish the ear, I like to really use the wipes, the ear wipes, because like the skin, the nice pink skin also is quite like, feels like waxy or greasy, and I preferably personally like the wipes very much to finish off the ears on the outside. And you can also put your finger in if you still see some dirt actually on the outside of the ear. I just like to use the wipes very much. And here you see how dirty the wipe was after I was cleaning the ears. And now let's do some nails. So here you see the nail grinder and the nail clipper. It's not necessary to clip off a lot of Theo's nails because they are very short, because Theo likes walking so much. So here you only see me taking a little bit of the tip of the nail, and then I'm just going to grind it a little bit. Here you see me using the nail grinder. I very much like to put my thumb onto the nail and gently go around the nail to grind them very nice rounded, so they are not sharp, and when they jump on you, you just have a very rounded, soft nail. And now let's do some clipping. The Experto is very nice to use. It's very light, it doesn't vibrate very much, and it has 5 speeds. Today I'm using the Experto on the 5th speed, on the maximum speed, with the medium blade. And the medium blade is perfect for American Cockers and standard poodles, or other coats which are very thick. And I'm using the Experto on number 15 to do the pads. When doing the bottom side of the pads, I like to take the 2 outer toes and like twist them a little bit to the inside and then gently scoop out the pads from the bottom part. I don't twist the toes very much. I keep it as low as possible, and I prefer to, you know, twist myself to go like under the feet than to take the paw and go too high with it and to make the dog feel uncomfortable. So a little trick, don't twist too much and don't lift too high. And here you can see me changing the clipper to size 10 because I don't want to go too short. And here you see me shaving at the anus, around the anus, so that's nice and clean. I also like to do that before the bath so we can nicely wash that area. And here you see me doing the inside of the legs. And here you see me wiping off some yellow goo from his private parts. Sometimes dogs have that and it's okay, but during the grooming, if they have that, I just take some wipes and regularly wipe it off. Here you see me going against the direction on his private parts. It's with a 10 blade and it's not very good if you go too short there, so to prevent having itch or irritation, don't go shorter than the 10 size. And here you see me changing the clipper again to the size 15, and here you see me starting to work on the ears. It's very easy doing the ears. It's a little dangerous if you haven't got a lot of experience. The thing to remember is while you're clipping the ears is actually always starting in the middle and shaving towards the outside, and then actually on the back of the ear holding your fingers, so when you shave actually the ear, but you feel your fingers on the other side, and you just keep on following from the inside to the outside with the blades, and you won't be shaving dangerously and everything is going to be fine. Just gently, don't push too much, repeating and just going over and over until everything is clean and tidy. Also the inside, the same way, as you can see here from the middle point towards the outside. I don't mind going high up. I always go as high as just where the ears come out of the head. Some groomers like to keep a little hair there, but I think for clipping and for cutting the head, I prefer to have a proper line, and I always have problems when I leave hair there. So I really clip until where the ear comes out of the head. At the sides, I just pull the hair with my 2 fingers upwards and just clip it off. I do something special with my scissor here because I hold my scissor very lightly and I don't push very much with my thumb. Must I have a little bit skin in between, my thumb is just gonna clip out of it, and I won't really clip the skin because I'm really not pushing my scissor very much. It even hurts me to see me scissoring because I always think when I see that we are going to clip into the skin, but believe me, it's like very easy and if you only use the points of the shear and you don't push the shear very much, it's quite safe. And here you see me also using the size 15 with the medium blade. So from this part, I'm going always nice with the direction of the coat. What else I don't do, when I shave here, I don't shave to there and stop. No, I like shave to there and then I like go gently a bit further, so I don't have a direct line. Then when this part is done, everything with the direction of the coat, if you hold your hands here, everything in front of my hands towards the nose is shaved against the direction of the coat growth. And here you see the drawing of the muzzle. So it's just to explain, if we are holding like our hand gently on the throat, everything in front of our hand is like shaved against hair growth, and everything from that line downwards is with the hair growth. Here you see me going flat from the line from the ear to the eyes, but I also lift my clipper, and with the corner I'm actually making this line very correct with the clipper and not with the scissor. You can do this, but you just have to be careful not to go very high and just to keep your clipper blade at this angle, and you don't take it at this angle or this all is going to be very short. And here you see me gently going over the face little bit by little bit. We don't like push the clipper very much, we just go steady. Here we were shaving under the eyes, but as you can see, I'm going in the other direction and I'm just trying to go against the direction of the coat growth everywhere. As you can see, Theo is letting me do everything and he's just saying, give it to me. He's not reacting to nothing. I can just clip my way and do everything I want with Theo. It's wonderful to work on Theo. For the face and the lower part, I'm shaving everything his chin, and I'm using the two parts of his lips to make a line, and I'm going underneath from one part of the lip all the way to the other part, and I'm leaving his hair after this part to stay there, because I'm going to shave, not shave everything, but leave a beard and a moustache. Here as well you see me going against the direction very much, and slowly we are getting where we need to be. Here you see me wiping off some crusty bits with a wipe, so we can nicely shave all the rest. I'm not afraid of going a little higher here and making the just above the eyelids the hair, you know, to shave it away. So afterwards, when you see the dog, he looks straight at you, there's no hair in front of the eyes, or even if you see the head from the sides, you see nicely the head and no hair is in front of the eyes. For the first shampoo, we decided to use the pure coat. For the second wash, we decided to use the Rise and Shine, and also the Rise and Shine conditioner. And here you see Theo going into the bath, and Kitty Ponnet is coming to help me to wash Theo and do the washing and the drying. Thank you, Kitty. For the first shampoo, we decided to use the Pure Coat because the Pure Coat is a degreasing shampoo and Theo hasn't been washed in between. That means he has like 6 or 8 weeks of sebum in his coat, and that's quite waxy, that's quite greasy, and so we need to get all this out of the coat in the first washing. As you can see, today we are using the Super Bather Pump, and this system is just fantastic. The only thing you need to do is put like 4 or 3 or 4 fingers, even 3 fingers is enough, of water into the bottom of the bath, put 1 cap of shampoo and start the pump. The high pressure water and shampoo will be ejected onto the coat and the skin and will wash with no problem at all. The power of the water and the active ingredients inside of the water will dissolve all the dirt and all the wax from the hair. And the best thing about the Power Bather Pump, you don't need to wash with your hands. You let the power of the water and the active ingredients work for you. You use less water and you use much less product. So actually for the environment, it's fantastic. You actually also save time and energy because we don't even have to wash the dogs. We can just start immediately, put the pump on, and we can start washing. The only thing you need to do is hold the shower like a little bit away from the coat, not very far, maybe like 10 centimeters or a few fingers away. And as you can see here in slow motion, you see the high pressure of the water go really deep into the coat and skin. Here you can see what the water does on your hands, and you can see how much power it has. It's like a gentle massage. And here you see us rinsing. For the second wash, we decided to use the Rise and Shine from Showtech Plus, and that's a special shampoo to create lots of volume. And here you see Kitty using the Bather Pump for the second wash with the Rise and Shine shampoo. And here you see us rinsing and also putting the Rise and Shine conditioner in the bath, and we are using like 2 scoops, and we will also use the pump to like put the conditioner all over the coat. And here another rinse, and Theo will be squeaky clean. And this is just a very nice moment between Theo and Kitty. And now let's do some drying. So here you see us using the Dry Mate. The Dry Mate is fantastic to use because you can use it, squeeze it out and use it again, and it absorbs an enormous amount of water. It's just a very fun tool to use, and it's beautiful as well. And here you see Theo just walking out of the bath. And a nice shake. Ah, look at Theo. Beautiful. And here you see us starting to dry. And as you can see, all the water will be thrown out of the coat with this dryer. And it's very simple in use. when you use a high velocity dryer, you only need to go very slowly, like 10 centimeters from the coat, and the dryer will open the coat, push all the water out of the coat, and actually, because it pushes the coat open, it's actually already brushing the coat as well. So it's a very big time gainer if you have a dryer like this. After we've done the whole dog, we will now do the drying with the comb and with the slicker brush and with the hot air from a stand dryer. And with the hot air and the brush, we are just going to take all the rest of the hairs, and if there's still some curly bits or some hair which is not correctly straight, with the slicker brush and the warm air from the dryer, we will stretch the hair out, and every single hair will be very straight, which is necessary to do the scissoring. So here you see the correct way of using the dematter. So here we've seen a mat, and Kitty is like holding the hair between her two fingers, her thumb and her finger, and she's gently taking the dematter, putting it in the hair and like twisting it and taking it out again. So she's gently teasing the mat away. Bit by bit, she's like pulling, but she's like holding the hair so it's not uncomfortable for Theo. And then when she's finished with teasing the most of the mat out, she's using the slicker brush, and with the slicker brush she's taking the rest of the mat gently out. Here as well, at the paw, at the legs, there was a little mat, and she was first using the dematter and then the slicker brush to take out the rest of the mat. And now she's checking with the comb and just checking to see if everything is disappeared. And as long as you can very nicely comb through the coat, all is okay. And now we're ready for some real work. Let's do some clipping and scissoring. Something that really helps in time and effort is using attachment combs. And if you can get your hands on wide blades with wide attachment combs, you win double as much time. Let me show you how easy it is to use them. And here you see all the scissors that I'm going to use. Small scissors, medium scissor and large scissors, and also a chunker. I'm using the small scissors for like small parts, like at the feet, medium for medium parts, and the very long blades for when you have to do a big part, and every time you cut you have a big piece of hair, so like the legs, the length of the legs or the length of the back or the inside of the legs where you can difficultly reach, you have advantage of using a scissor with a long blade. Also combs, it's very easy. You start with a wide comb before you start scissoring, then we use a medium comb, but for the actual scissoring, to have the best result, you need to use a scissoring comb. This is a very special comb with very thin teeth, and the teeth are very narrow to each other. And the advantage is when you use this comb, every time you lift up the coat with the scissoring comb, because the pins are so little and so fine and they're so narrow, every time you lift you have all the hairs very straight. Then you scissor and the result is amazing. So here you see Theo, and I'm showing you where his neck and where his back ends. To me, it's very important where the back is, where the neck is, the shoulders, the angulation, and I don't really concentrate very much on the finishing until right at the end, but I do like to concentrate on the neck, on the back of the dog, the shoulders, the chest, and I make sure I will explain part per part. So here you see a drawing of the German clip, and let's go looking underneath the coat. Here you see the naked dog, and you see where the hair is actually left very long. And now let's go to some basic grooming. The back of the poodle is horizontal. It's a very nice line, and it's always advisable to keep it horizontal. This straight vertical line is next to the front leg on the back, but when the poodle is standing in a right position, nicely stacked up, as you can see, the neck, the top line, is also vertical. And here you see also the front legs, they're very straight. They're actually one straight line down, so very like a cylinder from the top to the bottom, straight down. And here you see also two straight lines at the back legs and two diagonal lines here. And here you see as well how wide the legs are. It's advisable also to look so you have a nice balance that both legs are the same width. And here you see the back angulation, and also just below the tail also the angulation. So here I'm showing the neck, and I'm showing you that when you lift the head, the hair at the back of the head is quite long, and I will keep this hair very nice, very long there. So now I'm going to put the 30 blade on, because that's the best blade to use for the attachment combs. And the attachment combs have like a little lip where you grab the blade, you can pull the attachment comb forward, and that's how easy it is to attach the attachment comb. And then using the attachment comb, as you can see here, it goes very quickly. The trick is the preparation. It's very, very, very important. The preparations is done perfectly. And there's only one perfectly, and it is perfect. Every single hair needs to be not curly, not sticky, no mats. It needs to be, all the hairs needs to stand up perfectly, and then you will have a very good finish when you are using the attachment combs. Here I'm just following the coat, and I'm not, for example, the sides, I'm not going very straight with my clipper. I'm at the sides, I'm going like sidewards, and I'm not doing sidewards like horizontally, but I'm going diagonally down, so to have no stripes and to have no differences. Here you see I was using the 19 millimeter, and actually when you see the side of the 19 millimeter, which I'm showing you here, that's exactly how much coat there will stay on the dog when you use the 19 millimeter. I usually don't look at the numbers, but I look at the side, and depending on how big or how narrow the side is, that's the hair that stays on the dog. Attachment combs you can also use against the direction of the coat, but if it's not necessary, for example, if you are grooming a poodle's hair is like straight up, it doesn't really have the direction of the coat growth because it grows straight up. It's not really a big difference if you would shave against or with the coat direction. For example, if you would shave a Shih Tzu, which has the direction of the coat growth, and you you shave with the coat, it will be much longer than you shave against the coat. Against the coat, with a drop coat, you have a better result, but you always need to take one step longer. That means if you want to shave the Shih Tzu, who has not a coat which stands totally up, it has like more direction of the coat growth. If you go with the coat, it will be, if you use a 19 millimeter, it will stay 19 millimeters. But if you go against the coat, I, for example, would say that you would go like 5 millimeters shorter because you go against the coat direction. So now we have the lines, most of the lines, and the total back is finished. Let's go a bit shorter. I'm going to take like the 16 millimeter. You can see I have it in my hands. It's only the width of this where the blade goes, so it's going to be that long. It's going to be slightly shorter, and I will use this to further style my line in the dog, so I need to scissor less. So I'm going to do the chest or the tummy shorter. As you can see, I'm going against the direction of the hair growth, so the chest is nice and short. You have to be very careful around the tuck-up area just for the extra skin. So just be aware and be careful to avoid the skin. And here you see me at the back going quite short, and I'm going short until where the back leg folds. And after that area, I'm not going to shave anymore. I'm also showing with my hand that all this area I'm keeping as flat as possible. That means I've done the back area, but I didn't do the sides, so the sides have still their length. So actually the bum for the moment is like a square. It's the back area is flat and the sides are flat. So I have like a corner. And now, as you can see, I just took the 10. The 10, as you can see here, is very narrow here. It's only that long. And I like to use the 10 very much because for me, the dog needs to have a very nice lean neck and the shoulders need to come out a bit. So I use this area and I use this attachment comb to scoop out the neck and to make it as narrow as possible. And then I stop using it where the shoulders come out. And here, if you see this line in front of the dog, you very nicely see that he has a narrow neck and that the lines come out. This will actually make sure that the dog looks like he has a very long neck, which is very good for poodles. Here as well, with this short attachment comb, I'm making a line just next to his chest, and this part where the shoulder is, I'm also going very short. It's very important. You see this from the side and you see how short I go at the shoulder. The shoulder piece is like this long, and the chest, this part is long. So it's the nice thing about using attachment combs. You can just style without using the scissors and it goes very fast. The fun thing about using the new tournament table is now you just push the button and the table keeps on moving upwards or downwards depending on which number you chose and which memory you have saved. Here you see me also with the 10 millimeter shaving the back of the tail as short as possible. And I think now we are ready for some scissoring. Because we've done nice work with our feet in advance, we don't need to do a lot of clipping or a lot of scissoring on the bottom of the feet. And here you see very nicely how when you turn around the legs, how nicely you see all pads. That means that the clipping work before the bath was well done. because it's really nice and clean and fun to work with if you see nicely all the pads and they are clean, there's no hair inside or sticking out, and you see this black chunky nice pads. It's like a bare foot. And here you see me using the wide comb to start with, because I'm like making the lines. And here I'm showing you how to use the comb. It's very, very easy. You just take the comb, you put the pins inside the hair, you turn it and you pull it. And if you do this in a quicker movement, it's like a rolling movement. And this way you start from the bottom and you go to the top, and each time you go a bit higher and all the hairs will be standing very straight. After you have worked with a large comb, and you can very nicely go through the coat with the large comb. Actually, for scissoring, it's better you use a very fine comb, and the finer the better, because the finer the comb is, the more hair you will take, grab and pull upwards. So all the hairs stand nicely upwards, the better the finishing will be. So usually here with the scissor comb, as you can see, it's a combi comb, it's in two sides. We take all the hairs, we comb them thoroughly, and after we finish with the wide area, we turn the comb around and we do the same thing with the very fine area. I can't say enough how important it is to have a perfect prepped poodle, to have a good finishing and to have a beautiful line afterwards. The most important of everything you do is the prep work. And here I have a perfectly prepped poodle. It's perfectly washed, it has 2 baths, it had a volume conditioner, and it was well dried, it was well prepped, and now it's very, very easy to finish and style as we want. And here you see a drawing of the foot. As you can see here at number 1, it's like a round foot. It's not very difficult to scissor because this is a perfect foot, but the challenge starts when you have like a foot which is not very wide and it's like very narrow. It's very difficult to cut a round foot. So what we do is we just don't follow the line of the dog, but at the sides we leave a lot more hair at the foot to create a round foot as round as possible. As you can see here, the coat was before the feet were clipped, and now we don't really still have enough coat to make like the teddy bear look. It's nearly there, but you can still see like there's a little bit hair still missing at the front of the leg. But we will try to scissor it as much as possible and to make it as short and as tidy as possible. Here we just go over the coat and we comb and scissor until it's nicely and equally. We just do the same thing over and over again. It's very easy with the new tournament table. If your table frame is in the way, you can just take it out of your way to the other side. Still, when the dog is fixed with his head to the frame and you fix the dog in the middle of the frame, you can just move the frame out of the way and the dog won't be pulled, or he can just stay very comfortably on the table while you shift out the frame from the left to the right. And here I'm just scissoring all over, and here again you see me going over the neck because I would like to have the neck as short as possible. The size of the neck will be as short as possible. Of course, the end where the top line is, I will never touch before all the sides is finished, the front legs are finished, and the sides of the body is finished. The last thing I will do is the top line and the sides of the neck. I will do now, but I will never touch here the back of the neck until the total end. So here I'm just going to the side. I'm looking from profile to the side of the dog, and I'm doing his shoulder as short as possible. This way you also see from the side how long the dog is, and you don't need to do the chest immediately. You can leave the chest as it is, as long as we make the dog as short as possible by making the shoulder short. Here you see me making the legs as straight as possible, and one of my favorite ways is just to comb all the hair up and then go straight down with my scissor. You can use a longer scissor blade there if your hands allow it. Actually, for scissoring is very personal. One person is very comfortable with a kind of scissor and another will not be. It's all depending how long your fingers are, how strong your hands are, how thick your palm is, and how flexible you are. Some people can use very, very big scissors with a lot of weight and they have no problems. Others, like me, I'm not feeling very comfortable with large scissors. I don't have very big hands, and for me, I'm very good with fine, like the Japanese style scissors, where you have the short shank and where you have a long, fine blade. For me, it's very important when you open and close the scissor, you don't feel any tension, and you can just open and close the scissor without feeling tightness. And it's like you're opening the scissor, you are scissoring with the scissor, and for me the scissor must do all the work without me pushing very much with my thumb and making tension to be able to scissor. For me, I just open and close the scissor very much, very quickly, but I'm taking no force in doing that, and therefore I can just go over the dog and little by little style my poodle. If I feel tension, for me it's like the scissor needs sharpening or is not a good scissor in the first place, because if you have to think about how much you open and close your scissor while scissoring, it's thousands times, and if you have to open and close your scissor 1,000 times and you have a scissor which when you open and close it you have no tension at all, it will be much more comfortable for you and you will have a much better styling result than if you are using scissors when you open and close them. They have like tension and they're hard to open and close. It's not really very ideal. So please search for good scissors. So the front feet are like two big cylinders. They start at the top and they go down, and you make them as straight as possible. And then actually the whole tummy, the chest, and until here is like one area, which starts behind his sensitive areas and then go all the way to the front to this chest bone. It needs to be in one fluent line. So imagine the front leg being out of there. If you see it without the front leg, it needs to be in one fluent line. Here you see again a drawing of the German clip, and we are looking at the chest line. So from the chest bone underneath the front legs to the tummy, it's like one fluent line. And here you see a drawing of the dog which is not really very imbalanced because this line is not lining up. And here you see the line, and here you see the part where it's really not good. It's too low. So I've done the sides from the front and I've done the side very well. And now I'm like leaning over the dog and seeing from the top side, from his left side. And I'm also cleaning up the side of the neck from that part. And here you will see me going little by little and scooping out the neck. So I have a nice finished leg, and I see like the shoulder coming out. And here you can watch with me also from the top view. So here you see actually what I see. And I'm just scissoring and combing and scissoring and making sure that whole part is cleaned out. This scissor is one of my favorite scissors. It's the Utsumi 20 centimeter, and it's like very light and extreme sharp, and it's very fun to use. And here you see me even going slightly shorter with the chunker, and that's exactly where you can use the chunker. If you like find you can't go short enough or thin enough, you can use the chunker to go even at places shorter. Like this part from a poodle, I really want it flat and very short, so I can show off his chest and his shoulders and how short the dog is and how long we can make his neck. So here I'm showing where his neck is and where I am going to cut as short as possible. I'm showing you that the sides I will do very short, and I'm leaving the long hair on his neck. Here I'm showing you his shoulder and where the point is, where it's going very, very short. And here you see me again using the chunker to go as short as possible. Sometimes at the shoulders you see like slightly the skin in between, but I really don't mind as long as it's short, it shows off the shoulders. And must I have a little part where the skin is visible, it won't take very long. After 2-3 days, again the coat will grow back and you won't see anymore the skin. Which is not the fact today, but fine. Sometimes I do go too short, and I prefer too short than too long. So don't be afraid of cutting too short. A poodle grooming means that whatever you do, the hair will grow back, and it grows back very fast. Here on his left front leg, you see how straight his leg is. It's like from the top to totally to the bottom, very, very, very vertical. And that's exactly what we need to try to do. And here you see how nice straight it is. So the legs are going straight down. Here I am showing this part because I don't want his elbow to be sticking out. And I'm also showing you with the container, with the plastic container, actually where to look while you are scissoring the legs. As you can see, the plastic container is totally round. And if you stand where we stand now, you see that the container has two straight parts on the left hand side and on the right hand side from the container. You don't see that the container is round, you see two straight lines. And wherever you stand, you always see straight lines. These lines are actually the lines we follow to make sure you have a round leg. So when you want to do the legs, always scissor on the outside of them and never where you see the front side, because if you do scissor on the front side, you can have a hole in the coat. And here I'm showing you what we do. So we start at the front side and we keep our scissor at the same area, and we keep our scissor straight and we scissor around. So we start to the front and we go totally around the coat. Also very important is the combing. As you can see, I'm constantly combing, scissoring. I'm pretending that the wind is coming from everywhere, and I'm also pretending the dog will go home, and after a few days the owner will comb the dog. If my work, my scissoring work, is well done and I didn't comb enough, that means that when the dog goes home and the owner is going to comb the dog after a few days, there might be hairs again sticking out because I didn't comb enough. Or if you are doing a grooming competition and you don't comb enough, it means the judges will come and do your combing work, and if your scissoring work is not okay by not enough combing, there will be hairs sticking out and you will not win the competition. Here I'm showing like this the line of the chest again. So I'm just like holding up his leg and I'm following the natural line of the dog. And the tummy I'm doing as short as possible. This chunker is from the Yento Fanatic series and it's an 18 centimeter chunker. I like it very much. It's very sharp and it's very good for poodle grooming. Here you see me using just some water, and when you use water you will like the tips of the hair will be like another structure. It will be a little darker, a little bit damp, and you will exactly see which points are still sticking out, and it's very nice to do like the last finishing with some water. If the hair is too dry or you didn't use conditioner or the hair is like a very double coat and it's difficult, or he's changing coat, sometimes it's better to use like the quick fix spray in your scissoring in your last moments. But in the case of Theo is perfectly for scissoring and I don't need to use any product but water. Here you see me holding Theo's like pad, and I'm gently holding his pad while I'm combing the whole leg and the whole side. And in a minute I will let go and see in which condition the whole paw is, and then I can do the last finishing touches to the front. It's not because we use the attachment combs that we don't have to go over the total of the back. It's very important after the attachment comb you do the final scissoring with scissors to have a perfect result. So here you see me gently going over the back, and I will do this a few times combing to have a good finish. And here you see me working on the back side. Here you see me showing the point of buttock, and the point of buttock is the highest point on his legs. So all the parts below the point of buttock is going to go towards where the leg is folding, and it's going to be in one, like not straight but a slightly curved line to where the leg is folding. I also like the tail, the back part of the tail, always to be very short, because if there's hair on the back part of the tail it will like make the dog look longer. And since this is a German clip, we need to like do the tail as short as possible. And here now slowly we can think about making the back of the dog very short. And we are just looking at the kind where the line is, and after I'm standing up the dog correctly, I'm seeing if it's necessary to work on this line to make it more straight or more curved, or for example, if his back is going slightly in, I would make it shorter at the two ends to make it look as straight as possible. And if it's going over in that way, I would make where the curve is shorter So this is not about every single dog doing the same thing. It's like looking at what kind of dog you have and making the dog look more perfect. So slowly I am going over this line. And I keep on combing and scissoring and combing and looking at the lines from all kind of directions. It's very important. And as you can see, I do everything with straight scissors, and that's a reason. I was actually learning with straight scissors, so naturally I can do everything with straight scissors, but maybe if it's you, you can use curved scissors. It's not really a must to use curved scissors. As you can see here, you can do everything with straight scissors. I think it's a bit depending on when you are learning how to scissor. If you have the chance to learn with straight and curved scissors, I think you will always think it's very normal to use curved scissors. When you have learned, like me, in 1980 how to groom dogs, where there were no curved scissors available, and you had to do your job for 10 years before they were normal. It was normal to see curved scissors on the market. First of all, you never thought about trying the curved scissors because you did everything with the straight scissors, and then you learn how to use the curved scissors, but you will never automatically take curved scissors. I can scissor with curved scissors, but I'm always gonna prefer using the straight scissors. So here you see me starting the head. For the head, I go around the head. It's very, very important for me that this line is perfectly done before I work on anything of the head. So you will see me working on this line very, very much until I totally am happy with this line. And you see I'm holding my scissors quite straight. And I'm gonna work on this line for a while until I'm happy. Then I'm going to do the other side. As you can see here now, I've just started, and I'm just gonna comb and scissor and keep on working on this line for a while. I'm not gonna go to start with after the ears. First the line from the eyes to the ears until it's totally okay for me. And in the meantime, sometimes I'm gonna scissor and then comb the whole head so I see how far it is. It's also important for me when you are doing the poodle head that when you look from the side that the head is not doing this, that the head is going in a little cap in front of the eyes. It's also very good for protection for the sun. And just like I explained from the side and the top line here as well, I'm not going to touch the top part of the head until the end. So I'm going to go around and around the sides, and I'm going to go scissoring from down to upwards everywhere. And as last part, I'm going to do the top. So here you see me looking at the side from the other side. I'm turning over, because this is a very difficult part when you are right-handed to scissor. This side, his left side of the neck, is easy. You can just reach it from everywhere. Here you see me holding the ear. May I remind you, or may I tell you, never to pull the ear and then cut, because when you do that, you will have a great big hole in your head, so you can hold the ear but never pull it and then cut. Because you will like pull the skin and the hair, and when you cut it, the hair, it's gonna go back in its original place and it's gonna be very ugly. Yeah, so just hold the ear natural. And once you are getting happy with the sides, then you can start thinking about the top part. And here you see me scissoring the sides. It's sometimes very nice if after you have scissored, you can like shake the head a little to the side, and then the hairs will fall to the sides, and from the bottom to the top you can scissor upwards and have all the hairs which are too much sticking out. But here as well, until now I haven't worked on the top part of the head. I'm still concentrating on the two sides. And here you see me again working on the sides, at the eyes, even in front of the eyes or above the eyes, making the hairs there shorter again. And now you see, when you see Theo from his side, you see his eye very clearly, and you see the hair in front of the eyes as well very clearly. So now it's okay. Here as well, you see me again working on the sides. Here you see me working on the back of the neck, and when I hold the nose horizontally, it's like good that the end, the back of the head is like vertical on this same line, and it needs to be like a fluent line with his top line. And here you see me working on his moustache and beard. So I'm just gonna go around so it looks as natural as possible. You can do this part as long as you would like to. There's not much hair on Theo's face because it's only the second time that Theo is done in this style. And because his hair is so long on his head, it might be nicer if you could leave a little bit more hair on the moustache and the beard, but it's not for this time. And here you see me just scissoring a little bit at the point of the ears. As I said before, you don't need to keep this little part at the ear, but for me it's very personal. So I've kept this little part because I really like it. And here you see me starting the back legs. As you can see, I'm using a curved scissor. Sometimes I do force myself to do that. And here we have another look at the angulations. And here you see again how much hair there is above where the back leg is folding. So the angulation for me is coming from that part of the legs. And here you see again in red how much hair is standing on the hock and where it actually is. Here I'm showing how much hair there is on the hock and how long it is. And then I'm showing you where it's gonna go really short and where it's gonna go really long to create the angulation. Here I have a scissor with a very long blade. It's very good to do the inside of the legs or the long parts where you can scissor a lot at once. Here I'm just scissoring and combing. Actually, I'm going extremely short where the back leg folds. And then I'm going like upwards. And we wouldn't notice, but Theo is really like a great big angel. He is just standing still and not moving, and I've been grooming for hours now, and Theo is still like very, very, very nice, very nicely behaving and just standing still like a statue. And here you see me scissoring very quickly. Haha, it's not me. It's actually Marta who made the video go very much quicker, but I wish I could scissor so quickly. Just combing and scissoring and going over and over and over again. Here I am showing you this hair, this little bit, because as you can see we are going extremely short where the leg is folding, but the front part is where his knee is, and it's very important as we go so short where the leg is folding that we give the leg some, or that we give the coat some knee. So it's very important not to go too style or too flat there. We have to like make the knee look like real. Also, it's very easy to like hold his other leg up. So you can like hold the leg up and do the inside of the leg so you don't miss any parts. And once you've done it from the other side, you have to like lay yourself around the dog and go inside and with the comb and see if when you're combing there's nothing anymore like sticking out. Just go over and over and over again. Here you see me holding the tail between my thumb and finger and just cutting as short as possible so we don't have any longer tail than necessary. And just finishing up and making the tail look natural, not too big. We could have also done the tail more with the attachment combs, and we can still do that if we want. But here I've decided to scissor. And here you see me again using the water. And let's do some finishing. That's the part where I finish up the top line and the top part of the back. And also sometimes it's very necessary in between, we might forget, but it's very important to like clean the scissors in between, because sometimes there's like small hairs getting stuck in between, and then when you open and close the scissor it's not a fluent, very soft movement. So after we have cleaned out the scissors with a brush, it's fluent again. And here you see a finished Theo. Let's now style the coat a bit, because now the coat is so soft and it was like falling open, so I've decided to use some textured powder, and this will give me an enormous of volume into the coat. And you can just sprinkle the product on there and then comb everything back up, and the hair is going to be nice and sticking up and staying up. This powder is transparent, so you can use it on all coats, and it's very good for young dogs or older dogs or even terriers to texturize the coat to make it more volume and to give it a harder feeling. For people that would really have like a West Highland White Terrier or a Black Poodle, we also have the same volumizing powder with color. So we have white, we have brown, we have black. We have all colors available in the texturizing powder. And here you see the before and the after pictures of Theo. It was a real pleasure for me to be scissoring Theo. He's a wonderful dog with a perfect temperament. I feel very lucky and grateful. If you liked the video, don't forget you can always subscribe, so when we have new videos coming out, you will be notified. If you have any questions, you're very welcome to write them down below. We will answer them as soon as possible. And if you liked any of the products I have been using in this video, please scroll down below and push on the link and it will take you to a list. And if you push on the list on a product, it will take you directly to our website where you can buy the products. This is a very nice time of the year because soon we will have Groomania. Groomania is organized by Kitty Ponnet and me. And Groomania is organized for people like me and like you, liking to groom dogs. We have competitions, we have seminars, and we have all you need to keep on doing our passion, which is dog grooming. This year, Groomania will be 23 and 24 September in Kortrijk in Belgium, where we will have many competitions and many seminars. On the Sunday, 25 of September, we will host the World Team Grooming Competition. So, if you are interested in Groomania, please look us up at groomania.be or Groomania at Facebook. If you are free on 23, 24, 25 September in 2022, you are very welcome to come and visit us at Groomania. This was Kitty for Kitty Talks Dogs. Thank you for watching. Enjoy grooming, enjoy the love of the dogs we have, and see you next time.